Night curfew still in effect for another hour, imposed by Mayor Karen Bass.
To stop the vandalism, to stop the looting.
After days of destructive demonstrations against illegal immigration raids, Fox's Jonathan Hunt's in downtown L.A.
It was here, in fact, yesterday afternoon that it all kicked off once again as police began to push back protesters who gathered outside this federal building. Those protesters began throwing fireworks again at the police. They pushed them back further and further away from this building. That was the point at which Mayor Bass decided she had to instigate a curfew.
Now, today, some of the Marines President Trump deployed will arrive in L.A., joining the National Guard to protect federal buildings and agents.
What you're witnessing in California is a full-blown assault on peace, on public order.
But California Governor Gavin Newsom says the president is putting democracy at risk, and
he's calling for a sitting governor to be arrested for no other reason than to, in his own words, for getting elected.
A Trump-backed Republican has won the GOP primary for governor in New Jersey, Jack Ciattarelli.
New Jersey is broken, and when something I love is broken, I'm determined to fix it.
His opponent, Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill, who won the Democratic primary.
A state like this is not going to be led by a Trump lackey like Jack Ciattarelli.
Well, the feud that got ugly between President Trump and Elon Musk may be cooling off. Musk, who had led the DOGE effort to cut federal spending, posted on X early this morning that he regrets some of the posts last week about the president, writing they went too far. One of them claimed, without him, Trump would have lost the election. Now, on Monday, President Trump said he wishes Musk very well. America's listening to Fox News.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info's protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name Clay as the promo code at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM. Visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
The protests in Los Angeles over immigration raids and deportations have spread to other cities. That's in New York, where there were dozens of arrests. Protesters also taken into custody in Philadelphia for getting violent and disorderly. In Austin, Texas, several police officers were injured in the demonstrations Monday night.
All officers have been released from the hospital and treated for their injuries. 3 officers were injured by rocks being thrown at the crowd, and these were large, very large rocks. These were no small pebbles. 1 officer sustained a shoulder injury during an arrest, during which he was also spit on.
Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis. Republican Governor Greg Abbott plans to deploy the National Guard in several locations across Texas. 2 condemned men were executed in 2 states last night. First, Anthony Wainwright in Florida, convicted of raping and murdering a mother of 2 young children back in 1994. And about an hour after he got a lethal injection, another killer died a different way.
Alabama executed 65-year-old Gregory Hunt after he spent more than 30 years on death row. Hunt chose nitrogen gas as his method to die and showed signs of distress as it was administered. Critics of the gas object to the suffering it causes as it deprives the body of oxygen. Hunt was put to death for the 1988 murder of Karen Lane, whom he briefly dated before breaking into her apartment, sexually assaulting and beating her to death. Her family calls the execution justice and the end of a decades-long nightmare. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
President Trump is touting an appeals court ruling in a Truth Social post this morning, calling it a great and important win for the U.S., allowing tariffs to stay in place. A trade court had ruled earlier that the president exceeded his authority, imposing tariffs on many countries' imports. Later this hour, we'll get an update on inflation with a consumer price report for May. Ahead of that, on Wall Street, stock futures are falling. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Federal judge rejecting Michael Madigan's request for a new trial. That judge denied a motion filed by the former Illinois House Speaker's lawyers seeking to overturn his conviction on bribery and other corruption counts. Ruling comes just days before Madigan set to be sentenced on Friday. Charles Isbell inching closer to becoming the 11th chancellor of the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. U of I Board of Trustees approved his appointment. Former University of Wisconsin provost set to take over as chancellor and vice president of the university system August 1st, replacing outgoing Chancellor Robert Jones. Thousands of Illinois State FFA students descending on Springfield for their annual state convention. As of Monday, 7,000 students from across the state had registered for the convention, which will be held at the BOS Center in downtown Springfield. That convention runs from Tuesday through tomorrow. Enjoy the events. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Yeah, I looked at the thermometer in the 50s, and then all of a sudden I said, shoot, I think it's, Soye said 80-something. Uh-oh.
Right.
Well,
yep.
We're here.
Yep.
We're here.
That's right.
That's fine. That's okay. How are you?
Finally, we haven't had many days like this.
No, it's been fine by me. It's kind of like when you get to winter and it doesn't snow. I'm good.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
just fine.
I don't know about that.
I'm a snowbird.
I like a little summer heat and humidity.
I'm a little snowbird wannabe. That's it. That's kind of it. Okay, Good morning, friends. It's Stevie J. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
This is most learned in the group. It's meteorologist Greg Soye.
I wouldn't say that, but I appreciate the comments. I think, no.
Pushing the truth. That's all I do.
That's right.
I like to tell the boys I'm just a part-time genius. Feel free to use that once in a while.
No,
there, Mr. J.
man. Anytime you're a genius, regardless of time spent, it's fine.
Exactly.
You're in the circle. Let's check the weather. Meteorologist Greg Soye, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you Neighborhood Nights is tonight. If you'd like to check out the Painkillers, show starts at 6:30. They have free popcorn and lemonade. You bring your lawn chair out to the lake house at Crystal Lake Park in Urbana. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
But I always thought the best band name in the world would be Atticus Finch.
Oh, the guy from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
No, Mockingbird.
Mockingbird,
His
another
name was
classic.
Attorney Atticus Finch. I thought that'd be a cool band name.
Okay.
Even if you're not named Atticus Finch. All right.
Does anybody name their kid Atticus anymore?
Yeah, actually, my neighbor across the street.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Atticus Helfer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he's got your weather. It's meteorologist Greg Soye on this Wednesday, June 11.
Yeah, and kind of finally feeling like a little hint of early summertime around here, particularly for the day today, coming off, hey, who's to complain about the pleasantly cool readings of late? But the back 40, the corn and soybean fields might be a little bit, considering need a little more warmth into the soils and certainly helping to keep these daytime and nighttime temperatures more in line to conducive development, of which we ought to be looking at here quite nicely. And if you're still clamoring for some rain, and there's still a fair amount that are a little drier than we'd like to see, assuming everyone is pretty much done with planting operations, well, by golly, the weather guy is serving up some rainfall chances around here later this week, into the weekend, and probably on and off next week as well. Still kind of struggling at this point, just exactly, well, we kind of know how it's going to happen. We got to wait for the tropics to get going in the Atlantic before we can kind of move into this warmer to hotter to drier talk that we have been talking about, but maybe down the line till July or August before things really get going in that sense. In the meantime, 62 Willard and Savoy, same at Danville, a couple sprinkles up to southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, no consequence here. Sunny, warm, my favorite kind of forecast around here. 85 with a southwest breeze on the light side, increasing clouds, 64 for tonight. Humidity will creep in during the course of the day. Tomorrow, partly sunny, light south wind, and a high at about 88. And we do introduce a couple of showers and thunderstorms late morning and afternoon on Friday, but partly sunny, dry hours in between, humid at 84, then daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 80s by day, 60s at night. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soye.
Yeah. Apparently more planned for the weekend in Chicago, Philadelphia, Virginia.
Oh, boy. Of the quote-unquote peaceful protest.
Yeah, no, the peaceful protest, yeah.
Where you're gathering, things to light things on fire.
Maxine Waters said, nobody got killed. Just stop it.
Oh, okay.
This is peaceful.
No property damage, Maxine?
I really am impressed with Maxine Waters. I mean, she's 87 with unbelievable energy.
Yeah,
she doesn't appear to be 87 or 86 or whatever she is. But you got to give her cred for at least functioning like that. She actually, in her very leftist way, makes sense for a leftist. Kudos, Maxine Waters. You got to get up in their face. I mean, that away. Encourage the COVID-driven mentally ill to do exactly what you say.
Man.
All right, so this is heavily edited. But here's a guy who has been asked if he's for these riots.
I just don't.
Oh, dang it. It's got to be here. Okay, let's try this guy. Is he for these riots?
Someone asked me if I support the protests that are going on in LA. I 100% do. Please keep going. Burn down your own backyard if you must. You know why? Because this right here is the greatest campaign ad that this side never had to pay for. Because out there in Los Angeles throwing a...
All right, now it comes a little choppy because I had to take a lot out of
the protests that are going on in LA. Okay. I 100% do. Please keep going. Burn down your own backyard if you must. You know why? Because this right here is the greatest campaign ad that this side never had to pay for. Because out there in Los Angeles throwing a full-blown tantrum. Like y'all just crawled out the Rio Grande, screaming death to America. In a country that gave you the freedom to do that. You were born at Kaiser Permanente in Burbank. Stop it. You ain't El Chapo, you're Chris from Pasadena. You ain't cartel born. You were Target born with a Costco membership by age 5. Hassan ain't even Mexican. You're American with Mexican heritage. And a tattoo of the Virgin Mary you got on a Vegas bender. Don't get it twisted, I respect the heritage. But flying a foreign flag when on the country that gave you them to do it, that's not pride. You don't even go to unless it's for spring break in Cancun with a passport you got from the U.S. government. And you won't go live there. Why? Because you like your DoorDash. Your 7-Elevens, your air conditioning, and your freedom to scream without a cartel rolling up on you. And let's be honest, ain't nobody screaming death to Mexico while flying an American flag through Guadalajara. You know why? Because that's how you end up in a back alley, starring in Cartel TikTok Season 3. Meanwhile, the rest of America is sitting back watching you block freeways during rush hour, destroying businesses, wearing $300 Jordans, screaming about injustice in the city with the most social programs and diversity hires. And y'all are the political version of throwing a Molotov cocktail in Prius because you're mad about gas prices. So listen, I'm not mad you're passionate. I'm mad you're dumb. And your dumbass behavior is helping the other side more than a Trump rally in Texas with free brisket. Every time y'all riot, loot, tearing up your own, you're just birthing another red voter. So yeah, I support the protest. Keep going. Keep flying flags of countries you ain't got balls to move to. And on the system that literally gives you the right on it.
Yeah, heavily edited. You could tell a little choppy there.
I mean, lots of good points.
Well, I mean, yeah. What are you doing?
I was watching a little of the peaceful protest yesterday, right around the time when they were calling it, when you have to go to bed early or whatever.
Curfew.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it seemed like 1 in maybe 10 didn't have a camera.
No, right. Everybody's taking something.
Was doing some kind of video and posting it.
217-359-2255. You have any thoughts on L.A. and the coming cities for Donald Trump's birthday Saturday? Yeah, they're coming out to celebrate.
Right, and $250 for the Army. So aren't they having kind of a military lean on some of these celebrations?
Oh, I think so. 250 years for the U.S. Army.
But are we nervous about that then?
I mean, if people want to go burn down their cities, Donald Trump's trying to stop you. Karen Bass waited way too long. They have their guys stand down. It is such an unbelievable mistake for the law enforcement brothers and sisters to not protect each other. That's just the cardinal rule. And they didn't do it in L.A., so Trump had to call everybody out to protect the ICE guys. Oh, you can't come here. Well, they're people that aren't supposed to be here, and they've committed crimes. It is a crime to cross the border. It's a felony. And so they rounded up a bunch of people and arrested them in Martha's Vineyard. My help. That's bringing rain. Who will do the yard? Who will pick the blueberries? Yikes. All right, check your sports headlines.
Toronto beat St. Louis 10-9. Let's get more details.
Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. And last night, the Cardinals dropped a second straight one-run game to the Toronto Blue Jays. The final was 10-9. The Cardinal pitching just couldn't stop the Blue Jays.
16 hits for the Blue Jays, 4 late runs. The Cardinals bullpen was not effective. Miles Michaelis, not his best outing either, but the Cardinals were able to come back a couple of times in the game. Big home runs, Gorman a homer, Arenado a homer, Wilson Contreras one in the bottom of the 9th inning. Just not enough as they lost 10-9.
With 2 down, Wilson Contreras hit a 3-run homer, but Jeff Hoffman was able to get the last out and pick up his second save in the series. Now the Cardinals are looking to salvage a game today behind Matthew Liberatore.
The Cardinals were swept in Toronto last year by the Blue Jays, would like to avoid that today.
And we'll be on the air today beginning at 12:20. Ricky will have the lineups at 1:05 as the Cardinals close out their homestand.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Cubs beat the Phillies 8-4. It's a 12:05 start over on US 105.9. I had a kind of a short show that starts at 9 when I finish up here on ESPN 93.5. We also had the Chicago White Sox winning 4-2 over the Houston Astros. Their game starts at 7:10 tonight. NBA Finals are this evening. Tied up at a game apiece, Oklahoma City is in Indiana to face the Pacers. I was hearing about the NBA draft, and Kasparas Giacochonis was invited to attend personally in NYC.
Well, that's because he's top 10.
Mm-hmm.
All the top guys are invited.
The draft stock is higher.
I would think Brad Underwood would be there. Hug his guy.
Okay.
Visibility of you have a top guy.
Yep.
Usually they go when it's that celebrated, but again, the impression the NBA Finals made on me in Game 2, love you, Kasparas. You ain't playing for a while. Just not that level yet.
Right.
Unbelievable, the finals when you see these players. And they'll play, I mean, they're 18, 19.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be there 23, 24. That's amazing. To be that young, that rich, and that good at basketball.
That's
right. But this whole young thing is an upside later. These guys are projecting they're going to be really good players. And if you miss on that, you lose your job.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like that? I think I'm right. I don't know.
That's true. And we're thinking Cooper Flagg as probably the number one. We'll go to Dallas's Mavericks.
Yeah,
right?
He'll be there and he'll make 50, 60 million, most of that guaranteed and all that stuff. That's fine. That's what it pays. And if you're jealous, go be a basketball player.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Nelson Wheeler, another class of 26 commit for Illinois football as a running back from Nebraska, 5'9", 200 pounds. So he also had a visit recently. There was a Downers Grove North player that came in and he committed. So we're on our way in that class of 2026.
I think great. It's like saying we got this engineer guy from Brazil. He's going to develop the biggest skyscraper ever. I'll see you in a while.
Okay.
I mean, it's just hard to know.
You're right.
So we should follow all that.
Want to keep developing the team.
Yeah, no, you have to. So, weather brought to you by Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida, Champaign-Urbana. This Saturday, nice spell of summery weather. More typical temperatures of mid-June expected for the next couple of days. A gradual uptick in humidity and a couple of frontal boundaries dropping in and stalling out across the area. A series of weak and slow-moving disturbances along them, and shower and thunderstorm chances into play for later on this week, into the weekend, early next week as well. No rain today, sunshine and warmth, southwest breeze, a high around 85, increasing cloudiness for tonight, and 64 for the low. Light southwest to south wind prevails for the day tomorrow, partly sunny warm, turning more humid throughout the day, the high around 88 on a light south wind. We'll bottom out in the upper 60s tomorrow night, and the rain chances get bumped up to 50% late morning and afternoon. On Friday, partly sunny, more humid, a couple of showers and thunderstorms, a high around 84, and it's a daily outbreak of showers and thunderstorms scattered across the area, but better coverages on Saturday, lesser on Sunday. Weekend highs in the lower 80s, still warm and muggy into the first half of next week. Daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms as well. For Stevie G Broadcasting, I'm your host, Greg Solier.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street will be reacting today to the May Consumer Price Index. Negotiators from the U.S. and China have reached a framework on trade, and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says President Trump could approve it today or tomorrow. General Motors is looking to reduce its exposure to tariffs. GM is planning to spend nearly $4 billion to boost manufacturing in the U.S. Last week's cyber attack on United Natural Foods is starting to result in empty shelves at its largest client, Whole Food Markets, and other chains. The supplier tells the Wall Street Journal it hopes to restore normal operations by Sunday. Beauty company L'Oreal says it will work with NVIDIA. AI will be used in its ads and product recommendations. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
Kudlow on Fox Business is now on the go for podcast fans. Download the Kudlow Show podcast every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com. Kudlow covers the latest headlines and business trends with an emphasis on the financial impact facing households and businesses across the country. Listen to interviews with key business newsmakers. The Kudlow podcast will be available on the go after the show every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Racing, racing, racing. Friday Night Lights at Farmer City Raceway is a blast. Only $15 admission and kids 12 and under are free. This Friday, June 14th, has Matco Tool Night, $1,000 tool spree to the late mods winner, Dyer's Top Rods mods, and a full show. Head to 850 Grove Street in Farmer City with hot laps at 6:30. Details at farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end.
We don't have any HOMEs on record.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com. Do you know how fast weeds grow? I've talked to Steve Imke at Spring Green. They're afraid to spray the beds because it'll kill your stuff you like.
Yeah.
Because the wind and stuff can blow.
True.
But, yikes. I mean, you literally could put your iPhone on a weed and watch it grow 4 inches overnight. It's stunning. I cleaned it up a week ago Saturday, and I was back at it this last weekend. And there's 40 more. And anyway. Just FYI.
Going for the Dad's Day Award on Sunday, Stevie?
No, I
With
don't
all
think
the
I'm a long way from that. Although Spring Green does give me the lawn that would make it look like I know what I'm doing. Oh, yeah. All right, so Elon Musk backing off on some of the tweets that I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that.
Uh-huh.
I went too far.
Sender's remorse.
And so when Donald Trump said, I wish him the best, in fact, I wish him very, very well. And then Elon sent a heart emoji, so I think it's cooling.
They're making up.
And Bernie's trying to draft him for supporting the Democrats in 26. The progressives in 26.
Is that right?
That ain't happening. He's dead set against progressive. Notice I said progressive because I think Democrats like Joe Manchin, Harold Ford Jr., those are guys that could win. Those are the guys that reflect way more of this crazy leftist, Marxist, fascist. Pick a ism or an ist and you'll hit it. Those guys are off the rocker. I mean, you just get to these. You get to these people, and you try talking to this.
This is our city, and this was Mexico. You can't kick us out of the land that was ours. Donald Trump! Fascism! Let our people free! Let our people free!
Yeah, you go have a coffee and see how far you get with that.
Thanks for the clip, Stevie. That's pretty extreme.
You can't talk to it. That's the point. There are probably people in the county board in Champaign County I couldn't talk to. It's just they're left. They're too far left, and they believe in it. And they're yeah. Okay, calm down. Unclench your fists. It's bad for your blood pressure. It's pretty whacked out. And Simone Biles has apologized.
Yes, that was interesting.
May I say 2 words to that? Speaking gig. Her agents probably said, you're getting $100,000 a gig. Okay. You need to cancel it. Okay, I'll do the press release. Mm-hmm. You just nod. So all they did is she essentially said, because she called essentially
Riley Gaines.
Yeah, she called her essentially the body of a man.
Walking back the trans athlete comments.
No, not the fact that she's against it. The fact that she said you need to compete against people your own size. Oh, that would be a man. Yikes, what's that?
Right.
What would she, anyway, why, if you're selling shoes like Michael, when he said Democrats and Republicans both buy shoes, would you get in the fray?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? You need attention? Do I need to talk about you, Simone? What do you do?
So many young athletes and little girls looking up to Simone Biles.
It's just, and that probably won't register too much. I mean, they're busy and all that stuff. I just think that she made a gross mistake financially. Who wants to invite Simone Biles to their banquet now or their big event now? She's a superstar. Stay out of the way. Don't get involved in something like particularly in 2017 when I can dig up your tweet when you said lucky guys don't compete with me or I'd never get a gold.
Right.
And now she says, yeah, don't be such a hater. What happened to her? What are you doing? Boys should not play in girls' sports. What is your question? That's just a fact. I could have dominated girls basketball in high school. Okay? It's not fair. Of course, the women's game has evolved. I get smoked now.
So towards the end of her latest tweet, it says, I believe sports organizations have a responsibility to come up with rules supporting inclusion while maintaining fair competition.
You don't play against girls. You go in your own division. You all are men that are playing as women, and that's the group.
Simone says we all want a future for a sport that is fair, inclusive, and respectful.
But where are you going to go with it? We're not going to have an Olympics for transgenders. We're not doing that. It isn't happening. You go, I love you, but go run in a race with people that are comparable to your situation. What is wrong with that? They're 5 people. You run together as a group, and that'd be the transgender medal. Okay. But it's not going to go to the Olympics. But
right, Riley Gaines saying, it's not my job or a job of any woman to figure out how to include men in our spaces.
No, the men don't get to go and shower with the women. Listen to that, what I just said. Are you crazy? You don't do that. We leave the school tonight. That's nuts. It's nuts. It's all it is. So
yeah.
I have great therapy in the morning because I can say those things. Anyway, good news. Haven't heard from Ed Martin, meaning he's on.
Okay.
He would have definitely sent me a text had he come up with some other fire to put out.
Right.
As the head of pardons in the United States and against targeting political parties of the opposite side like happened to Donald Trump and also the assistant Deputy Attorney General of the United States. Ed Martin is coming up next. Brother Johnny's down in New Orleans, and we will get them both on the phone. We think, because when you got a high flyer like Ed Martin, yikes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good regular to get on that talks to Donald Trump regularly. I mean, that's inside.
Right. What a nice morning. 63 and sunny
nice
today.
looking. You can text
a little
in
warmer today.
Fisher National Bank text line 217-359-2255. Anything we say, it's fine. All right, time for the news from Fox. It is 7:30 in Champaign-Urbana.
Fox News, I'm CJ. Pop-up protests in Los Angeles leads to a fifth night of chaos. People flooding the 101 freeway.
That is a vital artery that runs through the heart of downtown. They shut it down for a time again, but this time police officers with the LAPD, California Highway Patrol, and the Sheriff's Department moved in much more quickly. 67 arrests in total were made.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in LA, which faced a massive cleanup.
City workers are already out there removing the graffiti, but this is so extensive, it's going to take community-wide involvement.
LA Mayor Karen Bass from Capitol Hill to the baseball diamond. Republicans and Democrats clash tonight.
Democrats sit on this side of the stadium, so I may hear a few choice words throughout the game, but that's all right.
Missouri Republican Senator Eric Schmidt earlier on Fox and Friends. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. 2 teens wounded following a shooting in Champaign Sunday night on the 200 block of Burr Oak Court, where they located a 13-year-old and 15-year-old with gunshot wounds. The initial investigation indicates that multiple people involved in the altercation in the area. When shots were fired, no arrests have been made. Illinois expands insurance coverage for the treatment of Alzheimer's. It requires state-regulated health insurance plans to provide coverage for all FDA-approved treatments of Alzheimer's, medications prescribed to slow the disease, and diagnostic testing necessary for physicians to treat the disease. The bill goes into effect right away. Thousands of Illinois State FFA students descending on Springfield. It's the annual state convention. As of Monday, 7,000 students from across the state registered for the convention held at the BOS Center in downtown Springfield. Convention runs now through Thursday. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Weather brought to you this morning by Kramer Siding and Window.
Gutter helmet, a new door, maybe a pergola, or getting your patio upgraded. Lots of options as you explore KramerSiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida. Champaign and Envis. Saturday, sunshine and warm for the day today. Southwest breeze and a fine day's worth of early to mid-June weather in the feel of summertime. Up around 85, increasing cloudiness for tonight. We'll bottom out at 64. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow. A little more humidity working in throughout the day. Another warm high at 88 on a light south wind with lows to the upper 60s tomorrow night. Frontal boundaries will be approaching in, stalling on out. Copious amounts of Gulf moisture, a little daytime heating in a couple of systems. And here we go with a scattering of showers and thunderstorms late morning, more so in the afternoon on Friday. Partly sunny, humid at 84. Scattered showers and thunderstorms on and off for the weekend. And weekend highs of 83 on Saturday. A Sunday high up to about 82. These fronts are still nearby but pressing to the north. So warmth and humidity back into play the first half of next week as well. Daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms. High temperatures generally into the middle 80s, muggy overnight lows in the middle and upper 60s. We'll keep you posted right here. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on KramerSiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
All right, Wednesday. It's Wednesday morning, ESPN 93.5. Brother Johnny's down at Bible study in New Orleans, Louisiana. Johnny, Deuteronomy, I keep forgetting the book you're in. Joshua.
Steve, it's
Joshua.
Yes.
Joshua.
They went into the promised land. So we're there.
They got
That's
to.
good.
I mean, Moses never got in. What, he hit the rock? And,
Yeah, there was an issue, so he didn't get across the Jordan. But he saw it. He got up and he could view it from a height across the river. But so that's what we're talking about.
Well, they sent 10 spies, as I understand, to take a look at what was ahead of them in the promised land, and 8 of them came back and said, we can't win that. And then God said, "You're all going to have to die before anybody goes in now."
The next generation.
Yeah, the next generation, unbelievable. And there were two that were saying we can do it. With God's help, we can do it. And the other 8 just said, no, they're too afraid. They were too big. They were too mean looking. So, man.
One of the 2 was Joshua.
Joshua was one, and then I can't remember the other.
Yeah.
It was, anyway.
This is Joshua's brother?
It was, I can't remember the name of the other person. Said we can fight because we've got God. I mean, God.
Was it Caleb? No, not Caleb. I don't know.
All right, our biblical help at 217-359-2255. 2 out of 10 that they sent to take a look. 8 said no way, and the 2 with you did just cross the. They parted the water. I mean, what else?
They went across. It wasn't like the big Red Sea crossing, but they went in at the right time. And Moses, his whole instruction was from God. Is here's how you're supposed to go, and they never really quite came up to muster on that.
Well, and they people forget the Red Sea and also the Jordan River. God parted the Jordan rivers, right, to get across that.
Steve, we're not getting that. I don't remember the parting of the Jordan.
Yeah, the Jordan River. I think God parted that as well. And maybe I'm wrong and dreaming, but didn't you get baptized again, you and Bobby, in the Jordan?
Yeah. It was cold. It was cold water.
That's pretty awesome. And you stayed at the King David Hotel.
Yeah, that was an amazing deal there because that's an iconic hotel where everybody from Queen Elizabeth to Winston Churchill to
3 or 4 texts on Caleb.
It is Caleb, Johnny. 3 or 4 texts on Caleb. Proud of you, audience.
Good for you guys for knowing your biblical
And what about,
story.
did God part to Jordan? I think he did.
I feel like that came up in my search. I just couldn't word it correctly in what you guys were trying to get to.
Well,
yeah, and the King David we stayed in the presidential suite where Trump had just been.
Wow.
So it was it had 3-inch thick windows. It was a missile-resistant structure with a conference table and a big dining room and a sauna inside the hotel. Because it was $6,700 a night, but we had actually booked a $700 room, but they had sold them out, and that was the only room left. And so for $700, we got to stay there.
Unbelievable. Wow.
And we had to, by the way, a Russian advance team came in the morning to check the hotel to see if it was satisfactory for Mrs. Putin, who was coming in after us.
Okay,
unbelievable. And the room was nice, eh?
Well, it was pretty nice.
All right. Well, it's just God did part the Jordan River for Joshua and the Israelites.
Okay.
This event symbolized God's power, and the Israelites to enter into the Promised Land.
But Johnny, isn't it interesting? By the way, Ed Martin's in another world. I can't imagine. I mean, we usually get a text. He's so consumed with whatever the heck he's on to. I can't imagine the life.
Well, when you start seeing the little 5-second deals of him on the news media, like for sure Fox, I've seen him a couple times. They're busy. Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on. Yeah. There's a lot going on, man. I'll tell you what. It's not easy trying to run the world. That's President Trump.
What do you say to me? How many times have you said, Steve, the presidency's not a great job? It's just not a great job.
I tell you what, it's hard to find a good president. And I'll tell you, I think Trump's a good president. He manages a lot of things at once. Let's give him 8 out of 10 times. He does what's probably as good an approach as possible. You're probably not going to be 100% on these things, and you might notice there's a lot of criticism when you screw up, or even when you don't.
Yeah. Well, Johnny, I mean, he did instigate everything in L.A. as Governor Newsom and Mayor Bassett.
Well, did you notice though? Seriously, that things quieted down pretty quick, actually.
Well, when you're getting 4,700, including 700 Marines. It's intimidating, I'm sure. But how are they going to handle Chicago, Philadelphia, Virginia on Donald Trump's birthday this Saturday when the plans are to mass city and burn their cities and all that other stuff that the instigators getting well paid are doing?
Well, you got to understand they're protesting those people who went out and protected us for 250 years, too. Yeah. What were they thinking? Yeah. We don't want protection. We don't want any law enforcement. We don't want to be safe. And we don't want to celebrate no doggone military just because they kept the best country in the world going for 2.5 centuries. I don't know where they're coming from. And here's the thing, Steve, what they're going to do in the other cities is the same thing, which is arrest the agitators and who are staying in the back already, throwing from behind the ones that were paid to do all of this to get everybody wild. Now, there are a lot of people who are protesting something or other. I know there were some people who made an interesting point in L.A. is it's actually Mexico. They want their land back.
Yeah, no. Here, as you say that, let me give you, and I'm gonna name Johnny the chief negotiator, and you're gonna have a meeting with her.
This is our city, and this was Mexico. You can't kick us out of the land that was ours. Donald Trump! Fascism! Let our people free! Let our people free! Suelta nuestra gente!
What's the windblower for?
That's for the fucking tear gas to blow it back at those motherfuckers. If you have fucking blower, bring it on! Push them back! We will not do 1992 again with you!
Okay, so that's who you're talking to, Johnny. Let me know how the
Well, I would just say, well, sweetheart, you're welcome to stay here. You're going to have to settle down. It's not Mexico anymore. It's the United States, and everybody's welcome. But here's what's required as far as becoming a citizen, which you're welcome to do.
No, it's Mexico. I want it back. And then the interviewer said, well, what do you want to tell Donald Trump? I can't play that. It's like, I mean... These people, Johnny, this is COVID multiplied by fentanyl, multiplied by whatever else you've got, but you can't have a conversation with this human. You just can't.
Well, and the people who have any kind of a beef, when you go into the streets, they're going to go out there, and you'll notice a lot of these protests, there's a myriad of people protesting different things, and they're basically harmless. It's the paid agitators, and there's probably some mixed in with that too. They get all riled up that are breaking windows and throwing rocks at cars, and then there's the people paying for all the riot shields and other equipment.
Well, apparently that's coming from one of the Walmart owners.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a woman.
Well, there's someone supporting it. Walmart owners. What in the world happens to people?
I don't know. I'm just not sure, and so
maybe that's a strategy to keep them from looting Walmart. I don't know.
I don't know if there's a deal.
It probably won't work.
I have this guy that I played a little earlier. I'm going to at least play part of this. I'm not mad because you're passionate. I'm mad because you're dumb.
Someone asked me if I support the protests that are going on in L.A. I 100% do. Please keep going. Burn down your own backyard if you must. You know why? Because this right here is the greatest campaign ad that this side never had to pay for. Niggas out there in Los Angeles throwing a full-blown tantrum, like y'all just crawled out the Rio Grande, screaming death to America, in a country that gave you the freedom to do that. You were born at Kaiser Permanente in Burbank. Stop it. You ain't El Chapo, you're Chris from Pasadena. You ain't cartel born. You were Target born with a Costco membership by age 5. Patton ain't even Mexican. You're American with Mexican heritage. And a tattoo of the Virgin Mary you got on a Vegas bender. Don't get it twisted, I respect the heritage. But flying a foreign flag when on the country that gave you to do it, that's not pride. You don't even go to unless it's for spring break in Cancun with a passport you got from the U.S. government. And you won't go live there. Why? Because you like your DoorDash, your 7-Elevens, your air conditioning, and your freedom to scream without a cartel rolling up on you. And let's be honest, ain't nobody screaming death to Mexico while flying an American flag through Guadalajara. You know why? Because that's how you end up in a back alley, starring in Cartel TikTok Season 3. Meanwhile, the rest of America is sitting back watching you block freeways during rush hour, destroying businesses, wearing $300 Jordans, screaming about injustice in the city with the most social programs and diversity hires. And y'all are the political version of throwing a Molotov cocktail in Prius because you're mad about gas prices. So listen, I'm not mad you're passionate. I'm mad you're dumb. And your dumbass behavior is helping the other side more than a Trump rally in Texas with free brisket. Every time y'all riot, loot, tearing up your own, you're just birthing another red voter. So yeah, I support the protest. Keep going. Keep flying flags of countries you ain't got balls to move to. And on the system that literally gives you the right on it.
A lot of sense in there, Johnny. I had to edit it heavily.
Who was that?
Some dude on social media that needed heavy editing. So,
well, that's probably one of the biggest problems the left has is the social media. They cannot control it like the mainstream media.
Right.
So you can get messages like that, whether you believe it or not. I happen to think he has a lot of good points, and I think that's the problem the radical left has, because the usual stuff isn't working. You can't do what Mao Zedong and the Bolsheviks and Hitler did, because those countries, the populations were miserable. There was no justice. They were complete serfs. So they had something to complain about. We got a problem. We don't have that much to complain about, Steve. Not really.
Yeah.
Not when you can go back in your air conditioner and you can get money from different sources which you need to eat instead of slaving away in some mine. There's just no. Do you see people pouring out by the tens of thousands into the streets? They're not coming. They're not coming out, and they're not going to. And then when the agitators go, they're going to just kind of, hold their signs up and then probably shuffle on back to the house. I don't think you're going to get the energy that they're after.
I think the before every high school student could graduate, they'd have to spend 3 months in India.
Yeah, I'd give them 2 weeks as enough.
I'd push the envelope and make them actually learn they've got to figure out how to go to the bathroom with rats in the back. Anyway, you just understand. There's a woman. I don't know if you saw Donald Trump walking into the fights on Saturday night. When he walks into, the crowd just goes absolutely berserk for joy. And he walks in. The fighters are so excited he's there. The woman that won the championship went out after she won, put the belt on top of Donald Trump's shoulder. He's pointing at her. She's pointing at him. They interviewed her this morning, and I think on Fox, and he's talk about, the fact that you love America. He said, it's the best country. I've been in judo all my life. I've traveled the world, and I know that if I lived 90 miles south in Cuba, I'd make $28 a week. And here I am in the great. There's a perspective there that so many Americans lack because they have not been and seen the world and see how most of the world lives and how privileged and blessed we are to be in this great country.
Well, I got to tell you that the radical left has got the same problem with perspective. They don't understand. They haven't been to these other places where they suffered. They hear the propaganda and they are using it to try to take over, but they don't have the leverage because we've got a lot going for us, and people are starting to see it. And the other thing is their methodology alliance. Gavin Newsom yesterday stood up and said everything was fine until Trump came in.
Right.
That's what he was saying.
No, that's not true.
It's not fine.
That's not true.
Well, the police chief of L.A. said we're overwhelmed. We can't do this. We can't stop them. We need help. That's what the police chief of Los Angeles.
And ICE came in and they showed the 6 they arrested were horrible felons, convicted felons, really, really bad humans, and so they arrest these. A couple of dozen kind of got together and they let it go. But what they didn't do is the local police, the L.A. police, were told to stand down and do not protect ICE. Trump saw that and said, "I got to protect my guys. I'm sending the National Guard. I'm federalizing them because how does I guarantee 100% of the L.A. police are disappointed they were told to stand down. They wanted to help.
Well, 100% are happy that Trump's helping.
Yeah.
Because they were in danger, number one, and they couldn't protect property or people the way they were trained to do. And this is the MO. Remember Waltz? Now that guy, Tim Waltz makes Pelosi look reasonable and truthful. But anyway, he just let the rioters have their way and then said, this is what happens when what I've been telling you about how bad America is goes on and you don't put me in charge. And then if you allow the trained law enforcement or military to stop the people who are paid to destroy, then things will calm down. And the MO is let them do it so we can show everybody how bad everything is. And blame Trump. It's easy, Trump, but blame something else. If it wasn't Trump, it would be something else, but Trump's the only thing they can think of anymore. And he had said he's not going to do it, and he got burned by this, if you remember, and so did America, by this in Portland and Seattle in 2016.
Minneapolis.
And they allowed it. They said it's going to be a summer of love until enough people got killed. Well, they said, well, that's not really what we thought. And it's a bad strategy. It's a bad thing to do. And I do think the guy who was on social media has a point when he's saying there are people every day who say, man, I think these guys are crazy. And I'm not going to stand by. They may never vote for Trump, but they may not vote for the other side either.
Hey, so these guys, the instigators, are getting paid. Is it possible $6,000 to $12,000 a week, or just a few $100s to hold a sign? I mean, is it? Wonder how deep that is.
I have no idea, Steve. The sign holders don't get much. We're talking about the guys in black. That's their professional occupation. They're basically anarchists. They wear the same clothes. I think they need to get some, change of clothes. But they have the same things they've been wearing in 16 and 17. It's the same people who were the first to hit the Capitol on January 6th. They have a picture of them in the Senate chamber. And then, of course, the other crowd got riled up and the police waved them in. And all of a sudden, it was worse than Civil War. And so that kind of thing is kind of been exposed. And they've lost credibility. And then when they not even change. They don't have the credibility to say we're sorry at this point. But they're just doubling down on what they've been doing. I just don't know what the Democratic Party is really going to do. And look at that mess with their leadership inside the DNC. They're arguing, and I don't get any credit, and this other guy wants to throw out all the old ones.
Right.
It's an interesting political
Boy,
time.
it is going to be, because I don't know how you bring the progressive left with the old guard. I don't know how they're going to do that.
I don't think they're going to go with anybody. I don't think they have an agenda. Their deliberate strategy was no compromise, and we'll just attack. And they've been true to their strategy.
Well, they're sure attacking. Yep.
And not just the Republicans, the Democrats who's pushed back.
No, I know. Yeah.
They'll attack anybody who disagrees with them. And now you got a guy like Fetterman looking like he may emerge as a party. Greg Gutfield is on my page. He wants Harold Ford to take.
I'm telling you, Harold Ford Jr. could be very, very, very impactful. No doubt. He's very likable, and he reflects more of what America is. So
well, what the left has done is made Harold Ford look like a traditional Republican.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And
that's right. That's exactly right. All right, Johnny, back to Joshua. Joshua and Caleb, we learned that today. Thank you so much.
And the parting of the Jordan. I always focused on that parting of the Red Sea.
And the Jordan. Yep. I remember that. And I was wondering if it was correct. So thank you to the texters. That's
all
awesome.
right. And we'll get some more info, and that's a great story. If you haven't read it, read the Bible, because it's the story of why God made us and what He wants us to do, and where we can go if we follow Him. And especially, Steve, remember His Son Jesus, who actually paid for our sins, so we can have eternal life if we'd like it, and all of these earthly things become a little bit less important. As far as the long haul goes.
Well, and this woman could actually be saved. She could be saved by Jesus Christ, and her soul could be at peace.
What's the windblower for?
Just for the fucking tear gas to blow it back at those motherfuckers.
Okay. Yeah.
That
would be.
All she has to do is stop sinning.
Yes.
Or try to.
No, right.
She doesn't have to do that. She just has to say, "I know I can't do it." And thank you, Lord, and believe.
Imagine the turmoil in her life all the time. It'd be horrible.
Horrible. And we all go through it, and it's. I don't know how to reach the level of peace that I have been able to enjoy. More than I ever thought it would, Steve. And we're only human, Captain. But
that's right. But Johnny, you've had great impact on many, 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 many people, and it's always
Thanks
a pleasure
for being on the show, Johnny.
Love having you on.
Well, I just wish our friend Eddie was on with us, but we'll have to get hold of him and see what's going on. I don't know. He may be few and far between right now.
Well, I'd bet a full dollar he doesn't know what day it is.
He tweeted out inside the last 3 hours at Eagle Ed Martin, but when you pray, go into your private room, shut your door, and pray your Father who is in secret, and your Father sees you in secret will reward you. That's from Matthew 6.
Awesome, Ed Martin. Thank you, Johnny. Talk soon.
All right.
Thank you. Brother Johnny down in New Orleans, ESPN 93.5 with your weather, brought to you by Kurt Lenschow State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Watts Copy Systems, they offer cost-efficient solutions to your busy office. Might save you some money. Call them for a free evaluation, 217-352-0428.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida, Champaign-Urbana. Saturday, nice spell of summery weather, more typical temperatures of mid-June expected for the next couple of days. A gradual uptick in humidity and a couple of frontal boundaries dropping in and stalling out across the area. A series of weak and slow-moving disturbances along them, and shower and thunderstorm chances into play for later on this week, into the weekend, early next week as well. No rain today, sunshine and warmth, a southwest breeze, a high around 85, increasing cloudiness for tonight, and 64 for the low. Light southwest to south wind prevails for the day tomorrow. Partly sunny warm, turning more humid throughout the day. The high around 88 on a light south wind. We'll bottom out in the upper 60s tomorrow night, and the rain chances get bumped up to 50% late morning and afternoon on Friday. Partly sunny, more humid. A couple of showers and thunderstorms, a high around 84. And it's a daily outbreak of showers and thunderstorms scattered across the area, but better coverages on Saturday, lesser on Sunday. Weekend highs in the lower 80s, still warm and muggy into the first half of next week. Daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm your little trust, Greg Solier.
It's our friend Steve Suderman. Good vibes, around 53 or so years, and Steven has not missed a single day of work. He's amazing.
But who's counting?
Who's amazing? But you also have amazing technology. We were talking Zenith back in the 60s with a big old 500-pound machine you put down there. We used to watch Jackie Gleason on, and now look at you. Man.
I just went to the website at gvibes.com, and I see some of these outdoor speakers that you have at Good Vibes.
Yes, particularly definitive technology. One of the things that hasn't gone up in price, they decided to hold what they've got. They must have brought in some tonnage on that, but we've got good deals on that and things to play them on. Father's Day, if I can be Captain Obvious, is Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Dad might like a soundbar, a subwoofer, a Bluetooth speaker, an AM/FM radio, an outdoor TV, speakers for the patio, something that streams his favorite tunes or podcasts or Stevie J Broadcasting. We've got Sonos models on sale, and a gorgeous OLED TV would be a really nice little cherry on top of the sundae. This is a good headquarters for Dad's Day, so we got that. I'm having something I'd call an unsale, with apologies to 7-Up the Uncola. We've seen price increases. Most of them were the 2nd, some were the 9th. Denon, Marantz, Klipsch, Polk, Epson, everybody, Sony Audio, they've all gone up. I'm going to spend the rest of the week manually taking prices on our website and just saying call for best price. Because I bought aggressively. I have inventory that is pre-tariff, and the differences are about 10%, but that's enough to matter.
You bet.
On the more expensive stuff.
Tax-free kind of stuff. That's awesome. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's like that. So call for best price on our website, which they don't say that yet. I got a lot of work to do to get that, but it'll be code for it's kind of on sale.
Yeah, I got
it's not at the new price.
I get it. Okay,
so,
we still got your big TV, 98-incher?
We do. In fact, we put 3 of them in above Oski's in the banquet center. I never saw a 98-inch TV look so small. They're 8 feet off the ground in a 60 by 60-foot room. They look like 55-inch TVs.
Oh, man, that's nuts.
It's hysterical.
That is
but we
nuts.
got that project going. It's next time you go to the banquet room above Atkins. We got some cool stuff we put in
you
there.
guys install like crazy, and you're so good at it, man. Just so good at it. Because you got a few years experience going on this.
I'm proud of this one.
Yeah. Okay, make sure we get to the Atkins Golf Club and take a peek at that.
That's right.
98-incher that looks like 55 inches. Because how do you lift that? How many guys? Man.
It's 2 guys and a piece of equipment that has a crank on it.
Okay,
like
gotcha.
A little equipment elevator.
Yeah, because it's not super heavy, but it's not.
Thank you, Rental City.
They got all the stuff. All right, my friend. How can people connect with Good Vibes?
On the web at gvibes.com. You can call us at 3510909, or please visit our store at 2010 Round Barn and vote for us in the People's Choice Award if you see fit. Thanks.
You got it. We vote for you. Way to go, Steve. Keep it going, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
All right. Are you looking to get the most from your money? If not, you should be. A free rewards checking account from Fisher National Bank gives you access to their Reward Saver, which earns you an exceptional annual percentage yield and can really increase your earnings potential. No monthly service fees or minimum balance required. When you're ready to make the most of your money, switch to Rewards Checking or Rewards Saver from Fisher National. See monthly requirements at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people, member FDIC.
I think the Olympics are in L.A. in 28.
Oh,
I'm a little nervous about that.
I know.
The news is next. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I'm Stevie J. 8 o'clock. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
The curfew is just ending in downtown Los Angeles for today. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, put in place by Mayor Karen Bass.
I have declared a local emergency.
After days of protests over illegal immigration raids that led to vandalism and looting and clashes with law enforcement. As that curfew began, hundreds of protesters once again tried to shut down the 101 freeway, which is the main artery running right through the heart of downtown Los Angeles. Police again moved in after the protesters cut through fences to get on to the 101. They started rounding them up. As we understand it, something like 67 arrests were made in all. Some of that's Fox's Jonathan Hunt downtown. Some of the Marines being deployed to L.A. will arrive today to join National Guard troops. President Trump posted on Truth Social, if he didn't send them, Los Angeles would be burning to the ground right now. Attorney General Pam Bondi just told Fox.
President Trump is going to make America safe again. We're going to protect Americans, and that includes Californians. If Gavin Newsom isn't going to protect them, we are.
But California's Democratic governor, who's challenged the federal deployment in court, says the president is putting democracy at risk, and
he's ordering our American heroes, the United States military, and forcing them to put on a vulgar display to celebrate his birthday, just as other failed dictators have done in the past.
Referencing Saturday's military parade in Washington to celebrate the Army's 250th birthday, the same day the president celebrates his 79th. Now to another Trump post on Truth Social. He wrote, our deal with China is done, subject to the approval of he and China's leader following 2 days of talks in London. The president says the U.S. will have 55% tariffs on Chinese imports. China's tariff on American goods would be 10%, following an appeals court ruling that allows the Trump tariffs to stay in place. We just got an inflation update. The consumer price index rose just 0.1% last month from April. The annual rate of inflation rose slightly to 2.4%. America's listening to Fox News.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords, but as much as you try to control how your info's protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name Clay as the promo code at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
After President Trump's conviction last year in New York in a case he called election interference involving falsified business records over an attempt to keep some 2016 allegations of paying off a porn star to keep an alleged affair quiet, well, that goes to an appeals court panel. They're going to consider his arguments in an appeal today. And meanwhile, the president, a big part of the New Jersey race for governor that's become set.
The president comes here nonstop to his golf course, and he calls our state a horror show. But come November, we're sending a shot across the bow.
Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill won the Democratic primary and will face Trump-backed Republican Jack Ciattarelli, the GOP primary winner.
New Jersey is broken. And when something I love is broken, I'm determined to fix it.
Days after a very public feud between President Trump and Elon Musk, who'd spent months leading the administration's DOGE effort to cut federal spending.
Some signs of contrition coming from Elon Musk, who now says on his platform X that some of his posts about President Trump went too far. Musk posting a heart emoji after the president told reporters Monday,
"We had a good relationship, and I just wish him well."
This after the feud and insults they hurled at each other on social media last week, which include included the Tesla founder suggesting the Trump administration had not released files on disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein because Mr. Trump was in them. Also, that Trump would have lost the election without his help. The president had written Musk had lost his mind and also claimed on Truth Social that Elon was, quote, wearing thin. I asked him to leave. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
After that better than expected inflation report we just got showing a slight increase only in the month of May from April in consumer prices, stock futures are rising ahead of today's trading. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Thousands of Illinois State FFA students descending on Springfield for their annual state convention. As of Monday, 7,000 students from across the state had registered for the convention, which will be held at the BOS Center in downtown Springfield. That convention runs from Tuesday through tomorrow. Enjoy the event. Federal judge rejecting Michael Madigan's request for a new trial. That judge denied a motion filed by the former Illinois House Speaker's lawyers seeking to overturn his conviction on bribery and other corruption counts. Ruling comes just days before Madigan set to be sentenced on Friday. Charles Isbell inching closer to becoming the 11th Chancellor of the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. U of I Board of Trustees approved his appointment. Former University of Wisconsin Provost set to take over as Chancellor and Vice President of the university system August 1st, replacing outgoing Chancellor Robert Jones. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim Miller. Here we are, hour number 2. Good to have you listening on this Wednesday morning, June 11. Temperatures are lovely. It's actually going to get feeling summer-like for June 11. What the heck? But 10 days from now?
I know.
Daylight starts going away.
I know.
I like it light at the 5 a.m. hour. I don't know. I mean, when you wake up, so
I agree with you.
I don't think it's light when you wake up, but when I wake up, it's light now, so...
little, I don't know, 4:15-ish,
right. A little brighter sky.
Birds start chirping in my part of the world.
Well, and I can kind of roll around and kind of look outside and just from my bed, and I'm thinking, you know what? I bet it's 4:30.
Yeah,
because it's
that's
pretty
right.
kind of light.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like this. Okay, so what do? The Earth's going to tilt again. It's going to tilt on me, and we're going to go back to winter. Okay. All right. I feel better.
Now, there's no big rush to that, okay? I just want for the record set.
10 days, I lose a minute, okay? Weather brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you that here in the month of June, they're analyzing how you are when you take care of grandparents or grandchildren, the unpaid caretakers, as they work with Chris Healthy Aging. You can learn more about these big issues at carl.org/services.
I have had a glimpse of what it's going to be like for all of us, and we better think about that now.
Aging parent.
Check with Carl
topic.
Because there's not going to be enough people to take care of you. There isn't now. You can't find a bed. You can't find workers. You can't. We went to the best place in Champaign-Urbana, and for them to help us would have meant a year commitment, and they have to hire everybody, and then they have to stay, and then they have to show up. I mean, it's just, guys, the baby boomers haven't even gone through yet.
I know.
We've got issues that are right ahead, so you better either save $25,000 and get an Elon Musk robot to take care of you and take you to the bathroom and make your sandwich.
Okay.
Otherwise, good luck to all of us, because it's a real shortage, and I don't have an answer, because you got to pay people to stay 24/7, and nobody has that kind of money. It's a lot of money. Okay, Mr. Greg Solier is here, and he's now going
How do
to
I follow that now?
Hey, no, it's fine. Listen, we shall not know the time or the day when the world ends, okay? I have no idea. I'm just saying.
Well, you kind of sound like you do. So,
and I have an idea for old people at home, and I think I should market it because it might help. And we need this. There's a need here. And it's something that I don't want to deal with right now, thinking about what am I going to, I mean, we're going to evolve and get older and all that stuff, but we better have a plan, because there used to be enough people to care for the old people. There's not anymore, because we're the old people. All the people that did the help are now far exceeding any other generation demographic. The old people are here, and they got to get their pensions and all that too. So you young folks, quit not showing up for work and work 2 jobs. Let's go. I need my pension. All right. It's our meteorologist, Greg Solier. What say you, sir?
I say Friday, June 20th is 9:42 as the clock strikes the first day of the summertime season, the summer solstice. And I mean, that whole shorter thing takes, into July before the net effect starts going in the other direction around here. So enjoy it, and enjoy it while you may around here. And enjoy the warmth. Nice to have temperatures up past 60 already at this hour. 68 at Willard, Savoy, and same at Rantoul, 66 Danville, mid to upper 60s McLean County, and a few sprinkles up around the Chicago area. That is it, as warm air streams in via the plains. We'll see high temperatures today across the area. Top out a little more typical of early summertime in almost mid-June at 85, down to the mid-60s tonight, and you'll feel the humidity as south winds take hold more for the day tomorrow, and more humid afternoon at 88. And then we get a couple of fronts to settle on south and eastward. They stall. Low-level winds are in from the Gulf, couple of disturbances, and at least we want rainfall. We need rainfall. We're going to get rainfall here. Hit and miss on Friday with a high near 84. Better odds over the weekend with a high temperature in the lower 80s, and it's basically 80s by day, 60s at night, and each day a couple of showers and thunderstorms will roam parts of the area Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Rochus Greg Solier.
Random thought. Do you think Steven Tyler from Aerosmith ever did a concert sober?
I mean, he's probably gone through some times where he's tried to get sober.
I would think so. But cocaine was kind of hot back in the 70s, right? Anyway, okay, so this is Aerosmith. That's why I kind of thought of it. And, he was on American Idol for years and thought he was very good. Mm-hmm. And
it says he had been sober for a significant portion of his life. There were periods of relapse and return to treatment. He had some foot surgery and pain medication in 2022.
Well, you can get addicted to that. 6 days. 6 days of taking the narcotics and you're hooked. Anyway, well, that's good because I've seen videos of he clearly wasn't sober. And when sober, I mean drunk or drugged up.
That's right.
And I think maybe all the concert guys in the day, it's kind of like steroids in the 90s for baseball. Mm-hmm. Maybe that was part of the routine. Mm-hmm. You take that to get that feeling, to get that thing going on, and somehow remember the words. So
right.
It's just, sometimes you take it for granted. I remember Elvis toward the end, they had to have the words on the card, and the song was Burning Love.
I know.
There's 2 words.
Hunka hunka burning love.
And they had
hunka hunka burning love
signs up for Elvis.
Right.
So.
Well, when I saw the Frank Sinatra show at the Assembly Hall, he, was holding a glass of bourbon on the second set or whatever. And when he started up after his break, he was patting the mic, and it was upside down.
A little too much bourbon at halftime, maybe. Okay. Yeah.
And it could have been that he was, cracking a joke or whatever. His son was the orchestra, and he made the gesture of turn your mic upside down.
That had to be a gig.
I think so, too.
No, that's just too funny.
Right.
So that's not, unless he had too much bourbon. I don't know. I don't know. So it's...
And with Sly and the Family Stone, with him passing away at the beginning of the week, I feel like there were some texts in about his rough life with drugs and the funkadelic, life that he lived.
I mean, that era, though, wasn't it kind of... If you're coming out of the 60s and you had all the Vietnam protests and, Woodstock, I mean, yikes.
Well, and you just didn't realize back then the stuff that you were taking, the repercussions of how this looks in 40 years. And how your brain can be mush.
Well, and you had, you were tripping, right? It was LSD and all that other stuff. I talked to Timothy Leary.
Oh, wow.
He was a guy, LSD guy. He was on my show one time. And I also talked to Lucio Ball and Desi Arnaz's son, Desi Arnaz Jr., and it was interesting. I had him on 2 times. Desi Jr., that was the world knew that baby was coming. That was Desi Arnaz Jr.
Yes.
And it was part of the 1950s and the Lucille Ball show and all that stuff.
I love Lucy.
And then later Lucille Ball, I guess. Anyway, I had him on and I didn't understand a word he said from the standpoint of far out.
I see.
The second time I had him on, I got real scared because I got it. It's just like,
Starting to be able to interpret what he said.
You nod your head.
Okay.
Far out, man. Dude. Anyway, he was a very pleasant guy with really a deeper train of thought. I don't know. Is he still alive, Desi Arnaz Jr.?
I was just looking up Timothy Leary, American psychologist and author known for a strong advocacy of psychedelic drugs.
Right.
He passed away in 92 at the age of 75.
So you come in through the 60s. He lived till 92?
Right.
Wow. Anyway.
No, he died in 92 at the age of 75.
Okay, that's not very old. So you go through all the 60s and the protests and the hippies and Haight-Ashbury and San Francisco and all the things. And then you get into the 70s with the wild look. If you look at the 70s yearbook, I was one of them.
Lamb chops.
But the
sideburns,
big bell bottoms, the big sideburns, and then you
long
had
hair,
but you
big afro.
Everybody had it. I had a great afro, but everybody had hair down to the shoulders.
Absolutely.
And just
Michael and Gary Ducey.
It's the same thing. It was just what we looked like at the time. But you look back and you take it just as a moment in time. You're going, well, you guys looked awful. I look at my yearbook, I'm going, what was I thinking?
Right.
Man.
By the way, Desi Arnaz Jr. is 72 now.
Okay, so he's out there. Anyway.
Retired American actor and musician, it says, son of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz.
Yeah, a tremendous fame, at least in the day.
It says the I Love Lucy storyline was controversial at the time. Maybe because she was pregnant and things like that. I mean, it is a little bit of a risk when you put it out there that, we're having a baby. Didn't it used to be in TV you had to have separate single beds?
I think Dick Van Dyke Show did that.
That they never were in bed together, obviously.
No, right. And I Dream of Jeannie, you never saw her belly button. It had to be covered by the censors. How have we changed?
Right.
And for the worse, I might add.
I'm telling you.
We need to cover our belly buttons, people.
No, nothing left to the imagination on what the kids are wearing these days.
Back to Sly, if you go through the 70s and stuff, it was I think a lot of people took the drugs in the 70s.
Absolutely.
And they performed that way, and that's going to affect you later.
Yes.
For sure.
And it was just kind of part of the culture. You really didn't think much about it.
Bad for you. And sometimes you
Absolutely.
If you're addicted, it's a hard life.
It's one of the things that I hit when I'm talking to the 8th graders, how I was in radio at EIU. There was another fella in radio at EIU, and, he went on to be a racetrack announcer, but he was, stoned all the time. And it's fine that, he's making 3 times less than me and doing something at the racetrack. At least he's making a go of it. But I really wanted to do broadcasting, and I had to keep a clear head to do so.
Yeah, I think for anything, right?
And so I was trying to make the comparison for the kids. If you're, starting to dabble in drugs in 8th grade here, might want to think about it because there's repercussions to all your actions.
And they're thinking, you don't know my life, right?
I know.
It's hard. It's hard.
And they're looking in their phone and saying, when is this over?
Exactly. You got a 60-second sports
I can
update.
do that, Stevie. Toronto beat St. Louis 10-9 yesterday. They got a lot of hits when they were watching the game at Busch, and it was Mason Win Jersey Day. 1:15 start here on ESPN 93.5. Got a day game, so the drive, I believe, is off today. Cubs over the Phillies 8-4. 12:05 start over on US 105.9. And the Chicago White Sox over the Astros 4-2. That series continues tonight at 7:10. NBA Finals tonight in Indiana. The Pacers and the Thunder, Game 3, series tied up at a game apiece.
All right. Every year, millions of seniors fall victim to financial fraud, costing them $2.9 billion. In observance of World Elder Abuse Awareness Month, Busey urges seniors and their trusted caregivers to safeguard all personal information. How dastardly to take advantage of older people. Man. Plan ahead. Please carefully choose a trustworthy person. Lock up your checkbook. Never give personal information. Never pay a fee or taxes to collect sweepstakes. Consult a financial advisor or attorney before signing. Pay with checks and credit cards. You have the right not to be threatened or intimidated. Just know what's going on. Find that trusted advisor you can really lean on. You can talk to your attorney, doctor. You can talk to your personal Busey banker. The best way to protect yourself is to be proactive. Busey wants you to be informed. Visit Busey.com. Stop by one of the many convenient locations to meet with a Busey associate today. Busey for over 150 years. Member FDIC. Okay, one more time here on Greg's Weather. It's 8:19. Your Fox Business is coming up next.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. Nice spell of summery weather. More typical temperatures of mid-June expected for the next couple of days. A gradual uptick in humidity and a couple of frontal boundaries dropping in and stalling out across the area. A series of weak and slow-moving disturbances along them, and shower and thunderstorm chances into play for later on this week, into the weekend, early next week as well. No rain today, sunshine and warmth. A southwest breeze, a high around 85, increasing cloudiness for tonight, and 64 for the low. Light southwest to south wind prevails for the day tomorrow. Partly sunny, warm, turning more humid throughout the day. The high around 88 on a light south wind. Will bottom out in the upper 60s tomorrow night, and the rain chances get bumped up to 50% late morning and afternoon on Friday. Partly sunny, more humid. A couple of showers and thunderstorms are high around 84, and it's a daily outbreak of showers and thunderstorms scattered across the area, but better coverages on Saturday, lesser on Sunday. Weekend highs in the lower 80s, still warm and muggy into the first half of next week. Daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Inflation on a monthly basis moderated in May as measured by the Consumer Price Index, up 0.1%. The increase less than forecast, also up 0.1% for core CPI, excluding food and energy. For the year ending in May, CPI rose 2.4%, and core CPI on an annual basis was up 2.8%. Both of those annual readings are up from April, but cooler than expected. Economists have been looking for signs that tariffs are increasing prices, though they expect the impact to mostly kick in over the summer. President Trump says the U.S. trade deal with China is done, though it's subject to his approval and the okay of China's President Xi Jinping. And Google is offering voluntary buyouts to U.S. employees in multiple divisions as it spends more on AI. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
From around the world,
Trey Yingst joining us from Tel Aviv, Israel.
To Washington,
I'm Mike Emanuel.
To your own backyard. If a story impacts you or your wallet, we're on it. It's the Fox News Rundown. We give every story the deeper look it deserves with must-listen interviews and smart analysis from the voices you can trust. Start your day with the Fox News Rundown. Listen and follow now at foxnewsrundown.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty talking to us in studio. Maybe you have an aging parent who's been in this property for a long time, but they need something that's more reasonable for that chapter of life. Reaching out to you makes sense, and talking about options for the future.
Yeah, the biggest shortage we continue to find is the downsizing opportunities into ranch-style homes in some of our more rural communities. Over the last 2 years, we've been trying to hit those challenges and find solutions for them. So we've been looking at all of our small outlying communities, St. Joe, Tolono, Rantoul, Paxton, Fisher, and we're looking at different ways and opportunities in these more rural, smaller communities to give them the ability to downsize their house without sacrificing the luxuries that they're used to.
It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113. Do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
You know, with like Lands Inc., we specialize in, we've got an amazing HVAC department that takes care of your furnace, you know, your heat system, air conditioning, they do that. Yeah. And for us in Underground, we take care of all your pipes that come into your home, leave your home, and work around your home to keep it dry, you know, your drainage system, sump pumps, things like that. And exactly what you said, if you don't know, you know, a couple decades ago, it was more like, oh, something broke, go fix it, repair it, no big deal. Well, now with the technology, we have cameras, like you said, that we can come in on these orange comfort clubs, and we can camera your sewer lines underneath your house and check them out just to make sure they're fine. If there's something wrong with it, we can show you right then. Truth is in seeing it.
Yeah.
We show it to you, and then you can plan as a homeowner for making those repairs or dealing with that issue later on. If it's an immediate need, at least you're not caught off surprise.
That sewer camera inspection with a proper clean out. I was just learning more at landsinc.com.
Well, tell me, Tim Onstadt, how is it going at Gale Frericks Trucking?
Oh, we're busy. We're going gangbusters. We've got a new driver going through orientation. That leaves us one spot left for somebody that wants to get in on the action and make some money, be home, get some quality time. It's a great opportunity.
And the type of person you like hiring?
Honesty, integrity, like everybody else is looking for. That guy that wants to have a family life, but be able to make some good money and do the right things.
Are you looking for experienced drivers? And if they have a military background and things like that, that's always an asset.
We do need some experience. Of course, we like getting the guys 15 years in that know what they're doing, maybe have been treated bad by other companies and need a place looking for a home. If somebody has the basics, maybe a year and a half, has a military background, I'll count that as some experience because they're used to following the process. Oh, you can always email me at timo@gftlog.com.
At Christie Clinic, our commitment is for the care of our community. That commitment includes keeping care local where our patients, their families, our clinics, and their hospital of choice are located. Our providers live and work here. It's their passion to care for their families and neighbors. Thank you for choosing Christie Clinic, your hometown provider. When you do, you support the health and well-being of your community.
Make an appointment today at ChristieClinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
What is most important in your life? This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that can help clients like you realize your goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
PDR Automotive has now been serving. Hold on, I got this.
Okay, you got this,
I got
Stevie.
this. Don't worry about it. Just hit the mungo again. That's all.
Well, and I do have the Rotary stuff up. We were so happy to be at that action auction that raised so much money for literacy in our community. And now they're doing a leadership transition celebration tonight between 5:30 and 7:30. So if you want to check that out, it's at City View. And they've also got a big party in the Flyover Studios, the old Chanute Air Force Base, coming up on Saturday, the 14th, on Flag Day. So that should be a lot of fun.
Just flashback to Pat Schroeder. Pat Schroeder was a congresswoman from Colorado. She came in 1991.
Okay.
And we were rallying to keep Chanute open.
Uh-huh.
And she said, it's closing. It's over. It's like, devastating.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the generals coming to the radio station. It was just really cool. And all the people, the diversity, we had like a little Illinois up there.
I know.
It was like all these people, and you could talk to people for decades, and I went through Rantoul. And the vibrant town it was. I was at a St. Malachi auction, and it was the gym was absolutely packed where it was hot and it was. But the vibrancy of Rantoul in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
General Brown would come out, and the general this and the general. Wow, and all these jets flying all over the place. It's just unbelievable.
I loved
We
it.
had that in Champaign-Urbana, and it was George Herbert Walker Bush that closed it. I can't believe it. Because as president, I will restore Chanute to its full splendor. We would have it back in 2 seconds because I'd say, build it again. Yeah, I know. But tear all that down. We're going to build another one. Have it back in Rantoul. But it was so fun. The St. Malachi thing was so good. It got so hot, people wanted to pay me to cut my tie off and sell it. That's how hot the thing got. They were raising wild money.
Okay.
But that was the 80s.
I've been to some great events at St. Malachy and Rantoul myself. That was a fun time.
Well, they had full enrollment. The whole thing was just...
But this Rantoul Business Expo, Rotary Business Expo from 10 to 4 at the Flyover Studios in Hangar 1 on the Chinook base is looking like a pretty lit party here.
Awesome. Hope it goes well for them.
Mm-hmm.
The news is next. Back with our final segment of this June 11 next. PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Hey Illini fans, it's Luke Altmaier here, starting quarterback for your Fighting Illini football team.
Get to him, he's going to run right, he's in, touchdown, Illinois, Luke Altmaier, what a throw by Altmaier.
Altmaier's big time. We invite you to be a part of the action this year at Memorial Stadium. After a 10-win season and a Citrus Bowl victory, get your season tickets now for 2025 and make this season unforgettable.
I was born in Louisiana.
July of 1936, the world welcomed George Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy, that is.
Now, after live performances spanning generations, the legend says goodbye. Buddy Guy, the Damn Right Encore. June 24th, the Virginia Theater. Special guest, Taj Farrant. Tickets on sale now at thevirginia.org. From the Damn Right Farewell Tour comes the Damn Right Encore. Buddy Guy, live.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. U.S. Marines from 29 Palms on standby to deploy to Los Angeles with 200 arrests downtown from yesterday, despite a curfew imposed by Mayor Karen Bass to quell violent anti-ICE protests. A federal judge denied California Governor Gavin Newsom's request to limit President Trump's deployment of federal troops. Newsom still resisting.
What Donald Trump wants most is your fealty, your silence to be complicit in this moment. Do not give in to him.
But Democrat Senator John Fetterman calls the Democrats' ICE resistance chaos.
We need ICE. We need ICE. We need a secure border. It's like that's the thing. It's like that's a mistake for our party to pretend that we need to abolish ICE.
SpaceX founder Elon Musk relents, posting on X, I regret some of my posts about President Trump last week. They went too far. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Federal judge rejecting Michael Madigan's request for a new trial. That judge denied a motion filed by the former Illinois House Speaker's lawyers seeking to overturn his conviction on bribery and other corruption counts. Ruling comes just days before Madigan set to be sentenced on Friday. Charles Isbell inching closer to becoming the 11th chancellor of the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. U of I Board of Trustees approved his appointment. Former University of Wisconsin provost set to take over as chancellor and vice president of the university system August 1st, replacing outgoing Chancellor Robert Jones. Thousands of Illinois State FFA students descending on Springfield for their annual state convention. As of Monday, 7,000 students from across the state had registered for the convention, which will be held at the BOS Center in downtown Springfield. That convention runs from Tuesday through tomorrow. Enjoy the events. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm. of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
When looking for a bank, you deserve the best. Philo Exchange Bank is a best of Bauer bank rated 5 stars in financial strength and stability for over 28 consecutive years. Banking with us means you're banking with one of the strongest banks in the nation. Visit any one of our locations in Philo, St. Joseph, Allerton, or Broadlands to experience the best firsthand.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida. Champaign and Memphis. Saturday, sunshine and warm for the day today. Southwest breeze and a fine day's worth of early to mid-June weather in the feel of summertime. Up around 85. Increasing cloudiness for tonight. We'll bottom out at 64. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow. A little more humidity working in throughout the day. Another warm high at 88 on a light south wind with lows to the upper 60s tomorrow night. Frontal boundaries will be approaching in, stalling on out. Copious amounts of Gulf moisture. A little daytime heating in a couple of systems. And here we go with a scattering of showers and thunderstorms late morning, more so in the afternoon on Friday. Partly sunny, humid at 84. Scattered showers and thunderstorms on and off for the weekend, and weekend highs of 83 on Saturday. A Sunday high up to about 82. These fronts are still nearby but pressing to the north, so warmth and humidity back into play the first half of next week as well. Daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms. High temperatures generally into the middle 80s. Muggy overnight lows in the middle and upper 60s. We'll keep you posted right here. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Gavin. So Gavin Newsom gets on and talks about Trump doing what he's doing, the audacity to try and protect Los Angeles. God, we didn't ask for his help.
Newsom in legal fight on troop deployments.
Yeah. Well, he didn't. And Newsom said, I never talked to the president. President Trump called John Roberts at Fox News, the anchor from noon to 2, and said, yeah, we talked for 18 minutes. I've got the logs here. I'll show them to you. Governor Newsom busted on a lie. I never talked to Trump. So you know what he said? Oh, it was 3 days ago. It didn't count.
That was 3 days ago?
And it doesn't count. That's what
that's when the heat of the LA riots were really in the throes of things.
Governor Newsom wouldn't be able to walk if he were Pinocchio. Couldn't hold the nose.
I see.
You'd have to have a crew holding his. It's just unbelievable.
57, born in San Francisco.
He wants to be. He's married to Kimberly Guilfoyle. Remember we had her on?
Oh yeah.
He was married to her, and then Donald Trump Jr. was hanging around.
2006.
He was mayor of San Francisco back then. And then Donald Trump Jr. for whatever reason got involved in Kimberly Guilfoyle, which. I don't know what Donald Trump Jr. was thinking. He had his wife, beautiful wife, 5 kids. What are you doing? So now Donald Trump, this is like a current culture segment. Wow. Donald Trump Jr.'s wife is dating the most famous man in the world, Tiger Woods.
Oh, really?
Arguably, Donald Trump's the most famous kind. Well, Tiger, in his day, was probably better known than the president of the United States at the time. So, anyway,
Interesting how that goes. How do you get to Tiger?
Well, Tiger golfs with Donald Trump.
Okay.
And that's how. And so, somehow, I don't know. I just know that I hate to see that stuff.
I know.
You got a wife and beautiful family.
Yeah, that's right.
What are you doing? Okay, so anyway, we have the Cardinals today. They come off a fabulous weekend, then lose 2 really crushing losses to Toronto.
I know, and is Toronto that good?
Yeah, 36-30. I mean, they're not going to beat the Yankees, but they're in that division, in Boston and everything else. I mean, the Cardinals are playing way better than anybody thought. The Cardinals are still 6 games over 500, but they're starting to drop, and Milwaukee's getting ahead of them, and Cincinnati's won 5 straight, so they got a little mo going. So we'll have the game of the Cardinals begin, I think, 12:20. And I think they start at 1:15.
That's right.
Okay, so the Cardinals have a game of the Cubs. I can't remember.
Oh, the Cubs have a game
today. Philadelphia.
Yeah,
and Philadelphia is the man. They're very good, and now this is for the series win. Cubs are really, really a good baseball team. I don't think they can, unless they get so hot it's ridiculous, and maybe the Cubs need a starting pitcher, like maybe a star starting pitcher. If you have a star starting pitcher for the Cubs right now, I think that they could actually play well enough to compete with the Dodgers and some of the cream of the crop like the Phillies, I think.
So
are
the
up there.
Cubs are 41 and 26.
Man.
Cardinals next at 36 and 31. Brewers 36 and 32.
Okay.
Reds 35-33, and
Yeah.
the Pirates 27-41.
Yeah, the Pirates are the team you got to beat in that division. Otherwise, they're all kind of even. The Cubs seem to be better. The Cubs have really surprised some people, and they've played really good baseball. You hear all the Cubs games, all 162 on US 105.9, because you can't watch them all. You love listening to Pat Hughes and Ron Comer.
Yeah.
It's really fun when the Cubs are winning, particularly when you really didn't expect it. I know a lot of our advertisers weren't too bullish on
I know.
Cubs or the
It
Cardinals.
was hard to
Both
sell out
teams-
of the gate. But
both
you
teams.
can join in progress in case you're listening and would like to get some messages
Well, you're gonna
out to
have
the people.
A lot of ears listening to the Cubs right now, so that's all good. Okay, John Decker will be on tomorrow. It's one of the highlights of the program for Thursday, and we love talking to John. He's White House correspondent. I look at the White House press room. Why is the White House press room so small? They are lined on the walls. They are everywhere. The room is not very big. I mean, you're going, wait a minute, this is the White House, right? You can't have a little bigger room? You can't knock a wall out? Yeah, I bet you could. I bet you got guys that drywall.
True.
Anyway, it's packed all the time, and I always see John in his seat right there in the middle. And he gets called on extraordinarily frequently. And he follows up. He listens to what they say and then follows up from there. But it's
Sometimes it's a good thing to have a lot of people together in a smaller space.
I mean, like hot small. I mean, it's
okay, not that.
I want John to get his tape measure out and measure the room for me.
Okay, we'll ask him.
I don't think the White House press room is any bigger than this room we're in right now. In fact, I bet you we're wider than the White House press room.
Wow.
It's just not that big. Anyway, and I wonder, it's what they were in the 1940s.
Right,
when they
right.
get a new room.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Donald Trump is building a ballroom, and he's paying for it.
Okay.
And he's putting up the flagpole. They had that in concrete just the other day.
Okay.
And he made a note to say we came under budget.
Okay.
Yeah, you expect kind of that thing to be going on with Donald Trump because he knows how to build stuff.
Absolutely, but it's $100 million to get this done, it says in this latest
The
survey.
ballroom?
Yes.
Boy, that's a big ballroom.
But there's bulldozers now in the Rose Garden as they get some things going.
Well,
gotta crack some eggs to make the omelet.
Yeah, but he's paying for it? Wow, that's pretty generous.
Plan to install this Mar-a-Lago style patio here.
And what would the left say to him? You're a Nazi, so you stole the money anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful flagpoles paid for by Trump on the grounds. They've needed flagpoles for over 200 years.
What's the problem?
I know.
Yeah,
You'd
flagpoles
think
aren't
this
that-
would be the most patriotic stop in D.C.
But he's paying for the ballroom too, right?
Yes. I haven't gotten to that yet.
There's nothing positive anybody will ever say about Donald Trump if you're a Trump derangement syndrome candidate.
It talks about the press conferences out here. It just doesn't work. People fall on the wet grass and there's divots. I get it. And they're showing some examples of trying to do things out there. So
He's just an authoritarian. He hates
it makes sense
democracy.
to upgrade. And especially if that's your
Yeah.
zone, or, maybe his wife could assist on some of this. I don't know.
No, I'm sure
But
it'll
the
be
garden's
beautiful.
facelift is going on.
He's
so.
a dictator. I mean, there's no way. I mean, the people that can't stand Trump would never, no matter what. He honored the kid with cancer at the State of the Union. The Democrats wouldn't even stand for a child who's fighting and battling cancer. What are you thinking? Time for sports headlines.
Okay, Toronto over St. Louis, 10-9. Now they have a 1:15 start here on ESPN 93.5. Cubs over the Phillies 8-4 yesterday. 12:05 for the first pitch over on US 105.9. I believe around 11:30 then for the pregame. Chicago White Sox beat Houston 4-2 yesterday. That's a 7-10 start to that series. The NBA Finals continue. Game 3 tied up at 1 apiece. Oklahoma City at Indiana to face the Pacers.
Be nuts there.
It'd be fun to watch games like this at Pia's.
There you go.
Met with Eric Myers yesterday, and they've got a 50th anniversary going on.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
50 years of Pia's.
And, you think about the history of Pia's and Eric owning bars in the area and the evolution of how things. He talked about Stacy, who used to run Taffy's.
So 1975.
Yeah.
I think it was Paul Piascovi.
That's it.
And I knew Paul pretty well. I used to go to Pia's when
he was in the education system, right?
I think so, but then he got into bars and restaurants.
Uh-huh.
And he was a really fun guy. I don't think he's living. But anyway,
That's right. He's passed away in just a few years ago.
Yeah. I went into Pia's and I'd order French fries because I love their French fries. This is back in like their 5th anniversary, okay? And I'd order, I just took pride in this. I ordered French fries and a glass of milk. And I'd stand next to the flannels. And they thought nothing of it. Who comes to Pia's? I bet I'm the last order for a glass of milk in Pia's in 45 years.
Oh, I doubt that.
Pia's and milk and French fries. Ask Eric if anybody's ever ordered milk and French fries.
They do have milk at the bar because of the White Russians that Gary Ducey
I'm saying
ordered.
straight old milk, not. I don't even know what
Not
goes
White
in.
Russian?
What's White Russian? What is that? Whiskey? I have no idea.
No.
I mean, if it was Jeopardy alcohol for 200, I had no clue. I'm the wrong guy. But I mean, I want to know if anybody in the history of P has ever had French fries and a glass of milk. It was like $2.
That's a good.
Tell Eric I'm a record setter now to have a plaque on the wall.
So he was talking and going to share the history of 1609 West Springfield Avenue. It used to be a house back in the day.
Really?
But especially the third shifters coming off of work at Kraft. And it kind of evolved into that's the place to go at 7 a.m. because they're just getting off work. That's like they're
but you don't
5
drink.
o'clock.
You can get coffee.
Yeah, you can.
Who drinks at 7 a.m.?
But I mean, it's like you getting off work at 5 o'clock and having a drink on a Friday afternoon.
Then you go sleep till 4 in the afternoon. And so it's like
pretty
your
much
schedule was.
That's right. That's how your body clock works.
That'd be hard, wouldn't it?
I know. You'd have to have some dark, blinds
shades
and stuff at home. But anyway, the history of Pia's and all the softball teams that would go there and celebrate.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Yeah, that's great. And
So we're going to have a big party on July 19th, Saturday, and have some old bartenders and cooks and staff and have different hours, some throwback groups performing on the patio. It's going to be quite a party.
Well, that's awesome. 50 years. Congratulations to Eric and his family. And now that I'm the only guy in the history of Pia's to ever order a glass of milk and French fries, it's just an odd combination. It's an odd combination.
It is.
But just to go to Pia's not have alcohol is an odd combination. So, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, people. Let's check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida, Champaign, Urbana, and Saturday. Nice spell of summery weather. More typical temperatures of mid-June expected for the next couple of days. A gradual uptick in humidity and a couple of frontal boundaries dropping in and stalling out across the area. A series of weak and slow-moving disturbances along them, and shower and thunderstorm chances into play for later on this week, into the weekend, early next week as well. No rain today. Sunshine and warmth. A southwest breeze. A high around 85. Increasing cloudy for tonight, and 64 for the low. Light southwest to south wind prevails for the day tomorrow. Partly sunny, warm, turning more humid throughout the day. The high around 88 on a light south wind. We'll bottom out in the upper 60s tomorrow night, and the rain chances get bumped up to 50% late morning and afternoon on Friday. Partly sunny, more humid. A couple of showers and thunderstorms. A high around 84, and it's a daily outbreak of showers and thunderstorms scattered across the area, but better coverages on Saturday, lesser on Sunday. Weekend highs in the lower 80s, still warm and muggy into the first half of next week. Daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms as well. For Stevie G Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Hi, Ellen Hook here, owner of your local Ashley, and your patio is ready for a refresh. At Ashley, we have the latest styles and trends in outdoor furniture, spacious sectionals, cozy sofas, and more, with multiple styles in stock and ready to take home today. Or let us deliver and set up for you. Built for style and durability, every piece features developed performance fabric, designed for easy cleaning and enhanced UV resistant to keep colors fresh, rain or shine. Shop now, relax later. Visit Ashley in Champaign today, located at 602 West Anthony Drive.
When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation, so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's bergtanksinc.com.
Are you or a loved one 65 and older and need to schedule your free annual Medicare wellness visit? An annual Medicare wellness visit allows you and your healthcare provider to establish a personalized prevention plan for your healthcare. Call your Christie Clinic primary care provider to learn more and schedule your free annual Medicare wellness visit. Stay well with Christie Clinic.
Make an appointment today at ChristieClinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
Hey, all you backyard chefs and grill gurus, barbecue season is here, and I know that you're anxious to fire up that smoker or grill, but your yard needs mowed. Yes, your wife is getting hangry, but that grass isn't going to cut itself. What's an aspiring pitmaster going to do? Get the world's fastest mower, of course, a Dixie chopper from Dedicated Diesel in Urbana. They carry a full line of Dixie choppers from the Z2 and Magnum residential models up to the big Excalibur and classic commercial machines that can mow nearly 8 acres an hour. This is award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt, and whether I'm cooking low and slow or hot and fast, I always have time to savor the flavor because my mowing time is cut down by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest mower. Get your Dixie Chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328-0562.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning. Do you have your sewer line cleaned every year? Are you constantly getting roots or blockages? Why deal with that headache year after year? Call Land's Drain Cleaning today at 217-355-5512 to have our expert staff come out, clean your line. We give you a free camera inspection, show you what's wrong, where it's at, and then we can offer you a repair for that problem so you don't have to deal with it again. Land's Drain Cleaning. Why call anyone else?
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
We're back. We have Paul Reekin from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World on the air. Paul, what makes buying an appliance at Dick Van Dyke so special?
Well, Chris, it all starts with our service department. We have an in-house service team that's second to none in... Chris, is that a dog in the background?
Max, keep it down. Have a snack, buddy. Go ahead, Paul.
With our in-house service team, we have our free 10-year protection plan included on most appliance purchases.
Paul, sorry. Let me close the window here.
Should we start over?
Nope, we are on the air.
All right, so with our free protection plan, we also give you a lifetime discount on the service call even after the 10 years runs out.
Hey, cut it out for a second. Sorry, Paul, I have a basement remodel going on. Did you say a service call discount for the life of the appliance? Uninterrupted discounted service?
Uninterrupted discounted service.
For the life of the appliance. Uninterrupted, huh? I like that.
No interruptions. The kind of service that makes Dad say,
wow.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Well, that's another show, Diane.
Okay.
Tomorrow's Thursday. John Decker will highlight the program. The Cardinals today at 12:20. I don't think we'll have a show.
Right.
Probably no drive today.
I think they were talking about that yesterday when I was listening in to Lante and Derek Piper.
Yep.
And Curtis Allen.
All right. Thank you, Diane. We'll meet tomorrow.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Thank you for listening. Enjoy this beautiful day. Very summer-like on this June 11. Enjoy. We'll talk tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday.
As the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circus Sports Illinois. From baseball to basketball to hockey, Circus Sports has it all. Circus Sports Illinois isn't just sports betting. It's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, tight money splits, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circus Sports has you covered. Download the Circus Sports Illinois app or visit circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Enjoy free yoga at Urbana Park District's Meadowbrook Park each Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. No experience needed. All are welcome. Bring comfortable clothes and your yoga mat or a towel. Instructors can modify the exercises to your experience level. Yoga is a great way to exercise and refresh the mind and soul. Make new friends or bring friends. Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 at Meadowbrook Park. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
Tired of trying to keep up with Old Man Jones and his perfect lawn? Spring Green knows that we can't all spend hours a day creating that perfect shade of green, killing off all that crabgrass, and making sure every insect in the neighborhood doesn't call your lawn home this year. At Spring Green, they take the hassle out of your lawn headache with services such as lawn fertilization, weed control, grub and insect control, lime treatments, and even bush and tree care. Let the experts at Spring Green help you this season. For more information, visit them at spring-green.com. Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team.
At Christie Clinic, our commitment is for the care of our community. That commitment includes keeping care local, where our patients, their families, our clinics, and their hospital of choice are located. Our providers live and work here. It's their passion to care for their families and neighbors. Thank you for choosing Christie Clinic, your hometown provider. When you do, you support the health and well-being of your community.
Make an appointment today at ChristieClinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Hey, all you backyard chefs and grill gurus, barbecue season is here, and I know that you're anxious to fire up that smoker or grill, but your yard needs mowed. Yes, your wife is getting hangry, but that grass isn't going to cut itself. What's an aspiring pitmaster going to do? Get the world's fastest mower, of course, a Dixie chopper from Dedicated Diesel in Urbana. They carry a full line of Dixie choppers from the Z2 and Magnum residential models up to the big Excalibur and classic commercial machines that can mow nearly 8 acres an hour. This is award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt, and whether I'm cooking low and slow or hot and fast, I always have time to savor the flavor because my mowing time is cut down by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest mower. Get your Dixie Chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328-0562.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.